You're in competition with everything, and you don't need to make attention. You need to get attention. They're tied together. Attention is money. Get it? Keep it, multiply it. That means when I'm in a meeting, I need to get your attention. I need to get it. I need to be sure I have it. I need to keep it, and then I need to multiply that attention. Because if you don't keep my full attention, you ain't gonna get none of my money.
If you want Cardone Kern to grow your brand for you, to get your market's attention, keep your market's attention, and cause them to know you, like you, trust you, and want what it is that you have to sell, go to cardonekern.com.
What's happening, everybody? This is your main man, Frank Kern, CEO, co-founder, and creative director of cardonekern.com. Also, the guy with the most titles around here. Cardone Kern is an ad agency owned and operated and run by me and our old buddy Grant Cardone. And the topic of today's conversation is officially titled 4 Ways to Dominate Any Market. It should be titled 4 Secret Ways to Dominate Any Market. It should probably be titled 4 Scary Ways to Dominate Any Market. The stuff I'm about to show you defies logic. So as I'm showing you this stuff, you're probably going to be thinking to yourself, dude, how is this even humanly possible? All right, so before I even tell you what to do, let me tell you how what I'm going to share with you is humanly possible. All right, so I didn't bring my phone with me. Oh well, first time ever I'm not with my telephone. Our phone, okay, your phone, my phone, everybody's phone. This is a beautiful drawing of the phone right here, all right? Our phone's got something called a device ID. Actually, it's got like this longer name called radio something, blah, blah, blah ID, but let's just call it a device ID. Now, you know all those apps that we've got on our phones, and I can't say what apps they are because I can neither confirm nor deny being under an NDA agreement about this kind of stuff. But let's just say there's those apps that billions of people use, and you're like, how in the world is this thing free? How can I make long distance calls over anywhere on the planet and it doesn't cost me anything? And you ever wondered like why they're free? Well, what's happening is your phone, my phone, everybody's phone, they've got all these apps on them. And what the apps are doing, get out of there, thing. I don't know what that thing does. There we go. What those apps are doing is they're sending data, all right, about you and what you're doing. They're sending data, oh yay, now I have my phone, to data provider dudes, okay? That's the technical term, data provider dudes. Now here's what this means. It's not as scary as it sounds, although it does sound like CIA kind of stuff. What happens is the apps on your phone are tracking everything you're doing, including where you're going, what you're looking at on the internet, what you're searching for, like everything you're doing, and it's taking that information and is sending it to these data provider dudes. And that's how those apps make their money, all right? Now, why would these data provider dudes buy all this information about what you're doing? Well, they turn around and they sell that information to ad networks, all right? So what I'm about to share with you is made possible because all of this stuff going on behind the scenes. So we'll just kind of refer to all of this CIA level crazy stuff as the system, all right? So mechanically, that's how it happens. There's more steps involved than that, you know, but that's kind of the big picture, all right? So everything you're doing is tracked on your phone, even where you're going. Now, the good news about this is they don't know like, oh, John Smith was here. They just know this phone ID user did all of this kind of stuff. So your privacy is still relatively intact, you know. But anyway, okay, so now that we got that, here's how to totally use all of this to dominate any market. 4 different ways. The first strategy is something called geo-hunting. All right, chances are you've never heard of this before because everything I'm sharing with you today, this is for the big boys club, all right? Stuff that we're going to talk about, this is for real businesses. This isn't for the people you see on the internet that are selling courses about how to sell courses to people who want to sell courses about how to sell courses on the internet. This is for real business, all right? So for strategy number 1 is something called geo-hunting, and here's how it works, okay? Let's say, I'll give you a couple of examples, all right? Let's say your business is a supplement store. And you sell vitamins and stuff. I actually have a client in Texas. Aaron, call me about this. Aaron's the client's name. I have a client in Texas, and he's got a chain of stores. They sell health supplements, right? So what he can do, and what you can do, if you know how to do it and you know who to do it with, you can do this geo-hunting method like this. You can say, okay, what I want to do is if my supplement stores sell weight loss supplements, I want to make it where everybody who goes to a certain gym or a weight loss clinic, right? We'll just use those two. I want everyone who goes to these gyms and to these weight loss clinics, and maybe even my competitors, like let's say his competitors GNC, right? Everyone who goes to a competitor, and as soon as they go in there, I want to be able to tag their phone, and I want to be able to show them my ads to drive them into my store, all right? That's one way that geo-hunting works, and you've got to be thinking like, wait, what? And so here's how it happens, okay? You walk into one of these places. Let's say you're my client's ideal customer, and you walk into the local gym. The system that I outlined for you earlier is going to track that user ID from your phone, and it's now going to follow you around no matter where you go, and it's going to show you ads for my client's supplement store. Same thing if you physically walk into a weight loss clinic like the local Jenny Craig. Same thing if you physically walk into one of his competitors like GNC at the mall. This is called geo-hunting, and what happens is essentially you take a list of geographic areas and you say, I want everybody who walks into this area, this carrying their phone, as soon as they walk in there, boom, we got them, and now we can serve them ads. Is that crazy or what? I'm telling you, it's like CIA level technology, right? So that's one example for geo-hunting. Let's say you're a car dealer, okay? And this is you. You're the local Ford dealer here or whatever, and you're like, hey, someone's going to my competitors, I want them to see my ads. Like, imagine how cool it would be if you had a salesperson. Of course, you couldn't really do this, right? But if you had a salesperson and he was standing in the doorway of your competitors' car dealerships, and as soon as they went to go into that place, he'd just start following around going, hey, you know, I got cheaper cars down the road and they're even better. Any price these guys give you, I'll cut it by $500 or whatever. Are you giving me a signal over there? Oh, I was out of the shot. Oh, well, they don't want to look at me anyway. I was out of the shot, y'all. I get excited about this kind of stuff. So imagine if you could do that. Well, you can through geo-hunting. So what this Ford dealer can do is he can target anyone who goes to the Chevy dealer down the road. He can target anyone who goes to the Honda dealer down the road. He can target whoever the heck he wants to. And as soon as anyone walks into that dealership, boom, we got them, and we can start showing them ads for his dealership, right? And not just while they're in there. We can show them the ads after they leave, after they go home. I'll tell you what kind of ads we can show them later on. So that's another example of how geo-hunting works. I'll give you a couple more. Let's say you're a veterinarian, all right? So you're the vet. Who's your perfect person? Well, obviously someone who goes to PetSmart, right? If the person's going to PetSmart, they're not going there to buy food for their kids or whatever. They got pets. As soon as they go in there, now you can start showing them the ads for your veterinary clinic. This not only works on a local level, this can work even if you're in e-commerce. Let's say you're selling the health supplements again. All right, and you're selling the same type of stuff but better, let's say, than they sell at GNC. You can actually say anybody who goes into any health supplement retail location in any geographic area, whether it's the entire country or the entire world, it doesn't matter. You can choose those exact locations, and as soon as somebody walks into that store, if they've got their phone on them, and their phone has one of these 8 zillion apps that are constantly broadcasting everything about them into the system, boom, we can start showing those people your ads, all right? So that's strategy number 1, geo-hunting. Ridiculous. I know. You know what else is cool? is you can know how well the ads did, because if this is your store right here, I'll just kind of draw what's going to look like a building. All right, let's pretend that's your store and it looks like a Smurf hut, okay? We can actually say anybody that comes into this store, let's track them. So you can actually know if somebody saw your ad after going to your competitors and then went to your store, it can be tracked. And you can know your ads are working. Crazy. I mean, absolutely ridiculous, right? Boom, just made that happen with my mind. I have no idea how that happened. Oh, look, it's back. Okay, awesome. So that's method number one, geo-hunting. Is this nuts or what, right? I bet you're hoping right now your competition doesn't find this out. Okay, so method number two. Oh, you know what? Here's one example I just got to share with you because it's a little bit funny. Let's say you're a family law attorney, all right? You deal with divorce cases. Now, obviously this works for any type of business, but what we want to do is we want to start thinking, where's my ideal customer going? Well, if you're the family law guy and you're handling divorce cases, all right, did I just make that thing skinnier? Let's see if I can. Wow, look at this, guys. Okay, boom. Figuring out the thing. Well, you could say anyone who goes to the strip club, I mean, they're probably not going there to strengthen their marriage. So anyone that goes to the strip clubs, I want to start showing them my ad. You can say anyone goes to a therapist, a family therapist. Hey, sometimes family therapist doesn't work. I want to start showing them my ad. You get the point, right? If you're an attorney, let's say you're a personal injury attorney, anyone goes to the emergency room, I want to start showing them my ad, right? It's ridiculous, the possibility. So that's method number one, secret or downright scary method number one that you can use to dominate any marketplace. Let's talk about the second one. The second one is browsing behavior. All right. Now here's what's bonkers about this. All those apps on your phone, right over here, all those free apps, you're like, I can't believe this thing's free. It's amazing. It's not only tracking where you're going, it's tracking what you're doing. Now again, it's not saying, hey, Frank Kern went to the local GNC and while he was there, he bought this thing. It doesn't know like who you are personally. It just tracks it to the actual device ID of your phone. So it's not as freaky as it sounds, but it's tracking what you're doing, all right? So browsing behavior means you can track somebody and start showing ads to them based on what they're looking at on the internet, which is crazy. So now you can say, okay, if we understand, right, and you know this from working together previously, if we understand your marketplace is built up basically two groups of people who are going to buy today and people who are future buyers, we can start asking ourselves, what are these future buyers doing on the internet that's indicating that they're future buyers so we can start advertising to them, right? So let me give you some examples, okay? I had to write them down. I got all worked up this morning. I made a big list, 4 pages of stuff for you. Let's go back to that supplement store, all right? If you're the supplement store, we could say, okay, I want to start showing my ads to anyone who's watched any videos about weight loss. We can say, okay, if somebody's reading articles about fitness, I want to start showing them ads for my supplement store. We can say, you know, if anybody's going and looking at websites about recipes, healthy recipes, I want to show them ads for that supplement store, right? The possibilities here are literally endless. You determine the behavior that they exhibit that's going to trigger your being able to show them that ad. Nuts, okay? Let's take another example. Let's say, and by the way, you don't have to be a brick and mortar store. That would work just as well as if you were an e-commerce store selling supplements. It's the only difference is your audience is just a lot bigger, all right? Let's say you're the car dealer, okay? So you're the local neighborhood car dealer there. Well, you could say, okay, if anyone goes to eBay, starts looking for cars and stuff, start showing them your ads. If they go to Edmunds, start showing them your ads. If they go to Kelly Blue Book, start showing them your ads. If they go to, what's that what's the website for car people, like Auto Week or something? I can't, like Motor Trend or something, right? If they start reading articles on Motor Trend, start showing them the ads for your dealership. And you can limit this. So if you're local, you can say, hey, and by the way, if you're in Miami and some dude's in Japan doing all this stuff, they're not going to see your ads. You can say, only show this to people who are doing this behavior in my area. So you choose it, right? You choose geographically where people are that are seeing this. Guys, I'm telling you, it is ridiculous. And it really is pretty much like CIA level. So it's like we're in the matrix now for advertising, of everything that you could do. So people who hate advertising, y'all are really gonna hate advertising now. But people like you and I who depend on ads to grow our business, we're like, greatest age in history. Unbelievable. Okay, let's give another example of this behavioral stuff or browser behavior. Let's say you're the lawyer, all right? And you're the family lawyer, the divorce lawyer. Well, if someone's going to, how do we say here, questionable websites, you know what I'm talking about, right? Questionable websites where they may or may not be showing things that are not family friendly, chances are that person might not be happy at home. So like Ashley Madison or something. If they're going there, boom, you can start showing them the family law stuff. If they're reading articles about divorce, such as how to prepare for it, etc., how to do it, all that kind of stuff, you can start showing them your ads, right? The possibilities are crazy. Let's say you're the veterinarian. If someone's going and just browsing, you can also target people and retarget people based on where they're shopping. It doesn't have to be your site. All right, so you can say, hey, if this person's going to browse or buy pet products on other websites, I want to start showing them my ads. If they're reading articles about a certain dog breed or dogs in general, I want to start showing them my ad. All manner of stuff, right? The possibilities are literally endless. And again, this is all made possible by what we will refer to as the system, the fact that most humans carry these things with them all the time, and these things are broadcasting your behavior to data providers who are now selling that data to ad networks that you can use to reach your perfect prospects right when they're behaviorally indicating that, hey, I'm getting pretty close to being ready to buy based on what I'm doing. Right, so it's a whole new level of the game now, which is nuts, and not many people are doing this. They're going to be doing this after they see this. By the way, if you're watching this and you're like, dude, put me in for doing this right now, you need to go to CardoneKern.com. We don't mention our ability to do this on the webpage, by the way, so just read it. It's all about social media for now. We obviously do social media as well, but we can do all of this for you. So go to CardoneKern.com if you want us to do all of this for you. But man, that's just 2 of the 4 ways. Now, are you giving me a signal, a caller? I don't know. I'm not going to take them. Can I make them wait? All right. So here's the type of calls I want to take, by the way, if you have a real business, doesn't matter if it's an internet-based business or whatever, the call I would love to have with you is, okay, how could we use this for your business, right? That would be a fun call to have. So let's have that if we can, okay? Now, let's say the next form here is search retargeting, all right? Now, obviously, if someone's searching for stuff that's related to your stuff, they're clearly interested in buying, right? So if we know, again, like your market's made of today buyers and future buyers, if a guy's going on the internet and searching for like how to buy a car, then he's pretty dang close to this magical segment right here. So you could do 2 things. Well, you could do 3 things. Thing number 1, like most people, you could do nothing and just miss out on that opportunity. Thing number 2 is you could do what people who are kind of ignorant of all of this cool stuff do, and that is, well, I'm just going to go buy an ad that if they search for how to buy a car, then my stuff's going to show up first, and that's of course going to cost a fortune. But what search retargeting means, if they search for that term, they're going to see your ad all over the place as long as you freaking want them to. So it doesn't matter if when they search for how to buy a car or whatever, if your website comes up in that immediate search, this phone, their phone, is sending up to the data providers, all right, this user searched for the thing you want them to search for. What do you want us to do? And you're like, dude, I want you to show my ad to these guys all the time. So this is pretty basic, right? In terms of logic, okay? So if we're the supplement person and we have an e-com store, we can literally take anyone, let's say an online store, anyone on the planet that you want to sell to, and if they search for weight loss or certain ingredients and supplements or anything indicating that they're going to be a buyer, we can retarget them. But it's not just global. You can say, okay, you know, I'm just a regular business here. I'm just a car dealer, right? I'm a car dealer in Miami. I don't want some dude, I don't want to show my ads to a guy in Thailand if he's searching for Chevrolets. That's cool. You can do the same thing here locally, right? You're dictating where you want to do your targeting. So for the car dealer, hey man, if a guy who's in Miami does a search for Chevy Malibu, 2019 Chevrolet Malibu reviews, why is he doing that? Well, obviously he's pretty dang close to this today buyer world, right? He's obviously thinking about it. He's definitely a future buyer. When you start doing that internet research, buddy, you're getting pretty close to today buyer. We all know our own habits. When we start searching about stuff, we're getting pretty close to buying it. So if he does that search, you're not like showing up in the search results right then. No. That's amateur hour. You're following this guy around everywhere. And wait until I tell you all the ways you can follow him around, by the way. It's gotten like super ridiculous now. I'm telling you, like this is the show where people who love advertising are like, yay, and people who hate advertising are like, where's the physical location of these people? Let's send a drone strike right now, because this is the next level stuff. Again, if you want us to do this for you, go to CardoneKern.com and we'll take care of you. Now, number 4, right? So we got 3. Remember, number 1, we're geo-hunting. We're targeting people based on where they physically go, all right? So, hey, when it comes time to sell GrowthCon, what do you think we're doing? We're taking every event location of a competitor on the planet, and anyone who's going to those events, they're ours, baby. And we're going to be showing them GrowthCon ads. You can do anything like that you want. So that's way number 1. Number 2 is browser behavior or browsing behavior. I'll just write browsing. What are they doing online? Hey man, if they're going and looking at stuff, looking at your competitor stuff, you can target them, right? Next one is search retargeting. That's not quite how you draw a C. There we go. So they search for something. You can start showing them your ads all the time. And now the 4th one, this 4th one is something. This 4th one is really, really something. This is list retargeting. And the first thing that comes to mind, man, that was an error of the pen. There we go. First thing that comes to mind is, well, what if I don't have a list, right? Don't worry about it, okay? Well, let's start with the obvious, though. Let's say you're that car dealer, okay? So you're Crazy Eddie's House of Chevrolets. Well, one obvious low-hanging fruit group of people are the ones whose cars are about to come off lease. You can take that list of people, you can upload them into the system, and you can say, okay, all these people, I want to start showing them ads. And they're going to start, so I'll tell you where they're going to start seeing your ads in a minute. It's going to freak you out, actually. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you can take all the people who are existing customers of your dealership and you can start saying, hey, you need to take your car in for service, right? So that's how you would do it if you were a car dealer. Let's say that you don't have your own list, right? You're like, yeah, I don't really keep a database of anything. Oh, I think we could probably help you out. Let's say you're a financial planner, all right? You could actually go out and purchase a list of high net worth individuals, all right? So I'll just write financial here. You can purchase a list of high net worth individuals and upload that into the system and start showing them your ad. Let's say you're a chiropractor, okay? I actually did this for a client. We did it in the mail. It was before we were able to do this kind of stuff. Let's say you're a chiropractor and your sales process is, hey, come on and get a free adjustment, and then you do the cracking and everything, and they like it and they become a patient. Well, one of the easiest things you could do is buy a list of new movers. People who are just into the neighborhood, And your whole campaign could be, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. I don't know about you, but every time I move, I lift a stupid box wrong, my back hurts. Come on down and see me at Crazy Eddie's House of Chiropractic. I'll give you a free adjustment, and then you're good to go. All right, let's say you're the supplement store person. Whether it's local or global, it doesn't matter. Let's do it on both levels. Let's say local. You can actually go, and we have resources to find these lists, and you can say, okay, I want people who have bought similar health products to mine in the last 30 days. And you can actually get that list. And you can upload that list of buyers, and you can start showing them ads that drive them into your brick and mortar location. You can do the same thing global. In this case, you would say, I only want people in Miami that have done all of this. You can do the same thing on a global level, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. I have a real estate investor client. So this dude goes out and he buys houses cheap and then resells them. And they send a little postcard in the mail, right? Blah, blah, blah. It's one of those yellow postcards. So what we're doing for this guy is we're like, all right, dude, they're getting the postcard in the mail, but if we have the list of people who are getting the postcard, why don't we upload that list of people that are getting the postcard and then start showing them ads where it's a picture of you holding the postcard going, I mailed you this. Click here to see what it says. All we're doing is getting more people to consume the message on the postcard, right? It's absolutely crazy, all of the things you can do. So before I share with you how we can actually show people ads now, so this is just who we target, right? Let's take a caller if we've got someone that wants to have that cool conversation, and then we'll do it. All right, Natalie's talking with somebody right now. Let's pretend like we're just kind of not waiting on her to finish talking to these people. It better be an easy question then. Okay. Is it an easy question? Okay, it's an easy question.
Over in California.
All the way in California. And Canada. California, Canada, totally different places. What's up, man? Can you hear me? Come on in, Garfield.
Hello?
There it is. How's it going?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm doing awesome. How are you, Brent?
I'm great. I would like to state that Strange Brew, probably one of the greatest movies of all time, still, after all these years. Great movie.
Awesome.
Too young to know the movie.
I'm actually Garfield the second. Yeah. So I'm really excited to be on the show. I'm actually watching you right now. Well, I know it's not fully synced where I am, but yeah, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you to you and Grant for everything you guys do. I love it so much. So I've been following Grant for quite a while on the sales side, and he's helped me out a lot there. So I actually do have I started up a social media marketing agency about a couple of months ago, and I try and help out a lot of real estate agents with, just getting more leads for them. So I know today you were talking about 4 ways to just dominate any market, and what I did is I tried a lot of geo, the geo one that you were talking about. I haven't tried lists yet, using their past clients, but what would you suggest for real estate agents?
So you don't want to go get clients, you want the agent to get more clients. That's who you're helping, right?
Yes. So I want the agents to get more seller leads, pretty much.
Okay. So first thing we have is definitely geo, right? Because probably your agents would prefer to have a listing in an affluent area versus a listing that's not in an affluent area. All right. So first thing we want to do is we want to target all of the affluent areas. Hey, when you say that you've tried geo before, how have you done it? Did you do it on social or something? Like on Facebook?
Yeah. So I do, Facebook and Instagram.
Got it. Okay. So guys, this
we did a local area.
This is for that times a billion. Okay. So everything I'm sharing with you is actually not Facebook and Instagram. It's even more hardcore. So I'll tell you how it works in a minute. But first, let me answer your question. So number 1 is going to be geo for sure. All right. So we would probably want to take these people, find out what it is they want to know, such as how much can I sell my house for, and drive them to content, and then retarget those people with offers that drive them into the sales process, whether that's call the agent or go to the agent's website or whatever. But that's pretty easy, right? But that's geo and how we would do that strategy. The next one, we can just actually go by We can use 3 of them. I don't know how we'd use the list one yet. The next one would be browser. So dude, if someone's looking to sell a house or buy a house, they're going to be going to competitors' websites, probably, or I'm totally blanking, what's the stupid website, like Redfin and Zillow and all that. So you could retarget like Zillow visitors and all of that kind of stuff. So I'll just put Zillow there, but I want to put like Zillow squared, because there's a lot more than just Zillow. I just don't want to spend forever trying to think of all their competitors. We could also do search retargeting. Now again, the key word here is retargeting, right? So we don't just show up when they search for the stuff. We just know they searched for it, and now we're showing them ads forever. Same with all of this kind of stuff. So this is an ongoing play, which is what makes it so cool. Like once you get that device ID, we're following them around. It doesn't matter where they go. So search stuff like, buy, sell, etc. Right? So that's thing number 1 that your guy can do. He could also take all of the MLS listings and the physical addresses and upload those and publish and fight with his competitor. Hey, your house not selling fast enough? Call me, type of things. So that's another way that he could go and he could get them. So you could use all 4 strategies in that regard to do it. So again, guys, this is not Facebook and Instagram. You can do stuff kind of like this on Facebook and Instagram. You can geo-target on Facebook and Instagram, but only like if this is your location, it'll just draw a big circle around your location. What this means, what this stuff is doing, is it's saying like, let's say this is Google Maps, and this is like the specific property, and it's shaped like this. The plot of land is shaped like this. Like, let's say this is Aventura Mall. You actually can go in. You don't have to do it. We handle it for clients. And we go in and it's called a polygon. We draw this little invisible fence around this actual location and say, anytime somebody walks into this fence, bam, we got them, and now we're going to start serving ads to them. We could even conceivably do that with every open house location in your market, with the logic being if someone's, this would be for generating buyer leads. If somebody's going to an open house, obviously they're interested in buying a house, right? So that would be a perfect person to start using this kind of stuff with. Now, let's talk about the cool ways. I think we're good on that one. Yeah, all right. I've probably dated myself with the Strange Brew reference, by the way. It's a hilarious movie from the 80s, if you have the mind of a 5th grader like I do. Okay, so let's talk about now how you actually serve these ads, all right? So like I said, this is different than the Facebooks and different than the Instagrams and different than the Googles, all right? So there are 4 ways that we serve ads to people. Number 1 is display. And this is what you've probably seen a million times. And you've probably almost been somewhat freaked out by this in your life. You're like, dude, how do they know what I'm doing, right? Like I did a search for Ugg boots the other day, and now every website I go on, there's banner ads for Ugg boots. Well, that's called a display ad, all right? And these are the cheapest ones, by the way. This is really inexpensive to get in front of people in this fashion. But that's the first way that you do it, through display ads. And display ads have been around forever, and they work pretty good. And, people are blind to them. Not that many people click on them, but they're so cheap to get in front of people, it kind of evens out. All right, so that's number 1. The next one is native, all right? And native is a little bit different. So native is typically you'll go to a website, let's say it's CNN or Gawker or BuzzFeed or something like that, and there's like a gazillion websites that have the ability to do this on. We can get on all of them, by the way. So, you've got like your main stories up here and it's pictures, and then maybe you've got a video over here of, celebrity A doing something crazy. And then you've got like all this stuff down here. And a lot of times it's like kind of really curiosity driven, like 5 things to never do when you're on vacation, or this one food can make your brain explode if you eat it after midnight or whatever, stuff like that. This is called a native ad. And typically what these things do is you'll have like a very curiosity driven ad. It'll be a picture with kind of some crazy copy, and then it'll drive people to an informative, so I'll just call it info. Damn it, there we go. An informative page where it actually delivers on that promise. So like, hey, here are 5 things you should never eat if you want to lose weight. And then it'll make the pivot. By the way, if you're serious about losing weight, come over here to my website and buy my stuff. That's kind of like a big overview of how native works. In many cases, Facebook and Instagram are native ad platforms, right? So you could drive people from that weird ad straight to your website where they buy something, or you could use this informative approach. What we do is we split test everything and see which combination works the best for people. But that's number 2. So number 1 is like traditional banners, a little banner ad that goes straight to your website. You know, save 10% with Geico. Like you've seen that a billion times, right? Number 2 is native, the 5 foods you must never eat on vacation or else you'll immediately die and everything will be horrible, or whatever that might be. So the third method is video, all right? And we've really got a couple of ways that we can do it. We can do pre-roll. Man, that's really getting weird. There we go. Pre-roll is when you're going to start a video, you know, when you're about to watch, you know, the cat video or whatever, and then there's an ad that plays before the video, and after a certain amount of seconds you can press skip this ad type of thing, right? So that's what pre-roll is. And then there's also, not mid, but really in-stream. And so these are really the 2 big kinds, right? In-stream is if you're watching like a longer video. You know, like sometimes like if you're watching an interview with somebody or whatever, and every 15 minutes there's an ad. It's kind of like TV almost, right? So those are kind of your 2 big ways to serve ads. And there's a million ways you could do it. You could show it on different ad networks and all this kind of crazy stuff. But that's how you serve video. And these are typically, we can do anywhere from like 6 all the way to like 90 seconds typically with these, in terms of how long you want your video to be. And now the 4th one is CTV. This is the nuclear bomb, okay? CTV stands for connected TV. And here's what this means. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about having this as an experience, all right? Let's say we're back in that health supplement environment, and you're somebody who is the target customer for our client, the dude that owns the supplement store. And you walk into a gym and you got your phone on, because how else are you going to listen to this podcast, right? So you have your phone with you. It knows you've gone to the gym, all right? So now we're targeting you. You go home, okay? The system, remember, this phone is broadcasting everything about you up to these data providers. The system knows that you did all of this stuff. It's not just going to show you ads on your phone. It's going to show you ads on your television if we want it to. So connected TV means TVs that are connected to internet stuff, like Roku, for example. You know, a lot of people have Roku boxes and Hulu and all of that kind of stuff. Dude, we can advertise your stuff to people on major networks that are on connected TV, like Roku and a whole lot other ones, but that's like one of the more common ones that are known. So like you go into the gym and like you're tagged now, and you've seen a banner for the local supplement store. You've seen a native ad for the local supplement store, 7 supplements you should never take if you're trying to lose weight, right? And then you've seen a in-stream video somewhere, and now you're at home. You're trying to watch whatever on real TV, and boom, you're seeing the ad for the local supplement store there, right? So now this is like everywhere. This is in your home. And it was like, it's great, you know, if you're the advertiser. It's great if you're actually the recipient of the advertiser, because you only want to see ads of stuff that you like, and might as well be shown ads of things that you're behaviorally indicated interested in, right? So look, if you want us to set this up for you and do this for you, go to CardoneKern.com. We will knock it out of the park for you. So if you're a real business and you're actually selling stuff, you don't have to be a big global business. Even if you're a local chiropractor, car lot, dentist, family law attorney, whatever, we got you. So go to CardoneKern.com. Now, let me share with you the one like really ultimate way to tie all of this stuff together. And that is sequential and episodic. I'll just do sequential epi because I don't want to write episodic. So here's what sequential means, okay? Let's say number one, you've done something to now get targeted. You've either been on a list that, someone's on a list that you've uploaded, or they've gone into a physical location that you want to target, doesn't matter. And now we start showing them banners, all right? So first thing they see is display. And they're like, huh, okay. And then they click the display. You're like, well, they behaviorally indicated that they're interested because they clicked the display, so let's kick it up a notch and now start showing them native. And then they read the native. And we're like, okay, they behaviorally indicated that they're pretty freaking interested because they clicked the banner and now they've like clicked the native ad and they've gone to our information kind of stuff. Now let's start showing them video. Let's get in their living room and be on their television. All right, so we can sequentially do it in this order. The reason you might want to do this, by the way, is because it's more economical. It costs more. Each one of these platforms costs a little bit more than the next one. So this is a way to be like economically smart about it. But now let's talk about episodic, okay? You can now actually make your ads. It's called episodic advertising. This was coined by my good buddy John Reese yesterday over lunch. He came up with this term. I think it's brilliant. Episodic advertising. Here's what it means. All right. Let's say we're the car dealer. All right. And we want to sell somebody on the health or the safety benefits of the new, Honda Civic Odyssey. Odyssey. That's a good family car, I think, right? Is that right? Yeah, I think that's a real car. Okay, so we target the maternity ward. And we say everybody who goes into the maternity ward, we want to start showing them ads to get them to buy a Honda Odyssey. Because what happens? You get a new baby and you're like, oh, we can't put this baby in this car. It's too unsafe. They'll die immediately upon being put into the car. We got to get a new and safer car, right? So perfect person to target. So everyone who goes into the maternity ward, we want to start showing them your ads. And let's say we start showing them video ads. Now you can give them episodic videos like this. Video number one could be about new baby safety. All right, so here I'll just say safety in general, all right? And the whole topic of this video could be like, hey, here are some of the hidden dangers in modern cars that you as a new mom need to be aware of. Because if you're driving cars with this stuff, you might not want to be driving it with your baby. And at the end of the video, you might say, hey, by the way, the Honda Odyssey is an amazing car. If you want to come look at one, come on down to Crazy Eddie's House of Hondas. That's episode number one. And then you might say, now stay tuned for our next video where we show you 3 things that you need to look for that are going to guarantee that your child is safer than any other kind of car on the road. So that would be video number 2, all right? And this one could be like, safety part 2 or whatever. All right, and then video number 3 could be an offer. Hey, come on down and test drive it, right? We can show people these in sequence, meaning the only way they see video number 2 is if they watch video number 1. And you can even dictate. You can even say, if they watch half of video number 1, we'll show them video number 2. Or you can say, no, I don't want them to see video number 2 unless they watch all of video number 1. So by the time they see the thing that says, hey, I'm Frank Kern from Kern's Honda, and I'd first of all like to congratulate you on being a new parent, and I'd also like to commend you because we know that you've been watching a lot of content about how to keep your child safe. And as a parent myself, I just want to congratulate you and commend you on your commitment to your child's safety. And that's why I'd like to personally invite you to come on down here to Kern's House of Hondas. It's always house of something. Kern's House of Hondas, where on, the X date or every Saturday or whatever, we have a new parent appreciation day where we do X, Y, and Z. And then of course this drives them into your dealership, and because we know where they're going because they got their phone with them, you can actually track exactly how many people these ads put into your store, therefore knowing whether or not the ad campaign worked instead of guessing, right? So all of these methods where we're geo-hunting, where you're doing browser-based behavioral targeting, where you're doing search retargeting, and where you are using lists. These are all ways, hidden ways, secret ways, admittedly kind of scary ways that you can totally dominate your market and be absolutely everywhere, but only to the people who you really want and only to the people who matter, which means you can do all of this at a fraction of the price it would have cost you in any other media possible. If you would like us to do it for you, again, go to CardoneKern.com. This type of omnipresent market domination that's based on this somewhat scary behavioral tracking is a new offering from us. You're not going to see any reference to it yet on CardoneKern.com. That's okay, we've got it. I just haven't personally updated the webpage yet, and it'll probably be a while before I do. So if you want us to do it for you, again, go to CardoneKern.com. And regardless, I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you got some ideas on how to use it, and I hope you dominate your market. Thanks so much for watching. Wish you guys all the best, and I'll see you soon. Take it easy.
When you're in front of a customer, do I have your attention? When you're getting attention, you need to know something else is trying to get their attention too. You're in competition with everything, and you don't need to make attention. You need to get attention. They're tied together. Attention is money. Get it? Keep it, multiply it. That means when I'm in a meeting, I need to get your attention. I need to get it. I need to be sure I have it. I need to keep it. And then I need to multiply that attention. Because if you don't keep my full attention, you ain't gonna get none of my money.
If you want Cardone Kern to grow your brand for you, to get your market's attention, keep your market's attention, and cause them to know you, like you, trust you, and want what it is that you have to sell, go to CardoneKern.com.